Alright chaps, and welcome to another edition of Understanding Great Songs. And today's song is Please Please Me by the Beatles, and the title of the video is John Lennon Saves the Beatles. Please Please Me in E, Lennon and McCartney, 1963. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. After the Beatles' moderate chart success with Love Me Do, George Martin, the band's producer, said their next single had to be a number one. Always good advice for an up-and-coming band. He suggested a cover version of How Do You Do What You Do To Me. The band didn't agree, so John Lennon went home and wrote his own number one, which in all probability saved the band from pop oblivion. Before we begin, the analysis focuses solely on the melody, chords and lyrical concepts, not the arrangement, harmonies, drums, etc. I use a piano roll, thereby eliminating the need for notation. The octaves to the left do not represent the actual voicing of the song, so discount those numbers. The chords below do not represent the rhythm patterns within the arrangement. We'll be looking at individual sections, not the whole song. If you've never heard the song, go and listen to it elsewhere. Don't want to get a copyright strike. After the analysis, we'll set a songwriting assignment based on what we have learned. So let's get to it, shall we? The verse. I said these words to my girl. Bum, 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 bum. You know you never even try, girl. Bum, 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 bum. So there you go, that is the verse. The verse is 8 bars long. It's a descending quarter note 3-bar melody starting on the tonic E and the second beat of the bar. This is the note E, and that is definitely the second beat of the bar. So as you can see, it's all moving down nicely, although it pops up a little bit on this note here and this note here. Exciting 1-bar ascending whole tone major chord sequence. Take it off with the melody ends. Bam, 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 bam. So what did he do here? Well, first of all, he flattened the third chord and bring it down to G. It should have been G sharp in the key of E. And then instead of going up a semitone for the second chord, they go up a whole tone. 2 semitones equal a whole tone. So they go G, A, B, E. The Beatles use it a lot in their compositions. So that's how they acquire this exciting moment in between the melodies. There's also an octave guitar riff on E that references the chorus melody, because the chorus melody has a nice big octave jump. So that precedes the chorus by 4 bars. A somewhat horizontal chord sequence rooted on E major, in contrast to the verse's descending melody. So, as with a lot of Beatles work, you have 2 things running simultaneously. The melody's going down, and the chords are somewhat horizontal. The bridge. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. In contrast to the verse's melody, the bridge is a horizontal 2-note C to C sharp repetitive call and response phrase that precedes the bar by an 8th. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So it's time for the melody to be horizontal as the ascending chord sequence that builds the tension for the arrival of the chorus. You can see the chords consonant with the key of E goes A, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, A. So this tells me that the song Mr. Lennon composed was written on a guitar. Chords, vertical, melody, horizontal. Contrasting elements. So here we have the chorus. Please, please me, oh yeah, like I please you. Chorus melody precedes the bar with an octave leap to the song's highest note, which also contains the song's title lyric. So super clever, nice big dramatic octave leap, and the title of the song. The melody then, similar to the verse, descends, resolving not on a predictable tonic, the tonic is here, but on the 5th note of the scale B. So what would it sound like if it went to the predictable tonic? It goes, please, please me, oh yeah, like I please you. Which would be a little bit Broadway musical-esque and not to the Beatles' taste. So this clever B note here, the 5th note of the scale, is what they used. Chords, E, A, B, E, very straightforward, typical 1, 4, 5, 1. The middle section. Wanna stop complaining, burning, torment, raining in my heart. I don't wanna be with you, it's so hard to be with you. Oh yeah, why do you make me blue? 2 4-bar lines of a predominantly 8th note melody. See the 8th notes here? Similar to the bridge, it is centered around C sharps. This note here, C sharp's running through a lot of this part of the composition. Contrary to the previous section, it starts on the first beat of the bar, so every section has a different start point for the melody in relation to the first bar. There's the chord sequence. They've moved up to A's, which is the fourth chord, A, B, E, A, B, E, A, B, E, A, B, E. The second half of the second line is almost an exact copy of the chorus melody, albeit with a different lyrics. It's so hard to reason with you, oh yeah, why do you make me blue? Going to that B. All in all, the middle section is a combination of the bridge, these two notes here, and chorus, a two-note phrase centered around C sharp, followed by an octave leap and descending back down to B. So they've recycled this melodic phrase for the middle section. Ending. It's me, oh yeah, like I please you. So there's the chorus there, goes to that G. The last note of the chorus is sustained over a fast-moving chord sequence starting on E, then moving to the dissonant G. There's you've got the G and C, falling chromatically to the B, resolving back to the tonic of E. So bam, ba ba da ba dam, ba ba da ba dam, ba ba da ba dam, bam, bam, bam. So basically taking elements of the whole tone scale that they've used in the verse. So the lyrics, surprisingly, nearly all the words are single syllables. Last night I said these, which I assume adds to the song's sense of urgency. It's a straightforward lyric. The protagonist is referring to a conversation last night with his girlfriend. He's upset that she's not trying enough to please him as he does her. Now, I have no idea what they're talking about. The song's title is placed on the most dramatic part of the song, the octave-spanning chorus. It's also a play on the word please, an idea Lennon got from a James Brown song called Please, 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 Please. I think it was released in 1956. In summary, the song has four-bar melodic sections. Isn't that incredible? It basically has 16 bars of original music to make up this fantastic song. One is a descending quarter note melody from E to G sharp, which is an augmented fifth, that starts on the second beat of the bar. Two is a two-note repetitive call and response phrase centered around C sharp that precedes the bar by an eighth. Three is an octave leaping crescendo that precedes the bar by a beat, followed by an octave descending melody that resolves not on the expected tonic E, but the fifth note of the scale B. Four is another repetitive 8-note melody on C sharp that starts on the first beat of the bar and at the end references the chorus melody. Besides the ending, the one-bar whole tone section in the verse, the chords are all consonant with the key, so he sticks almost rigidly in the key of E. The verse is somewhat stationary in contrast to the bridge, which moves upwards. The unity within the composition is achieved by descending melodies in 3 sections and octave leaps, not only in the vocals, but also the end of the verse guitar riff. The chord sequence for the 4 sections start either on the tonic E or the subdominant, so it basically alternates E for the verse, A for the bridge, E for the chorus, A for the middle section. The lyric is straightforward. The protagonist is upset with his girlfriend for not trying enough, so he's beseeching her to please him. I've already gone over that. Okay, take a screenshot of that. There's all the info. Assignments, because there's no good having all this information and not doing anything with it. That's called spurious intellectualism, and we don't want any of that. And as the great British painter, I think in about the 18th century, said, imitation is the means, not the end, in his discourses on art. Anyone who thinks imitation is a festival of genius, according to Reynolds, has no genius whatsoever. Anyway, section 1. The first section of verse should be a 4-bar descending melody repeated over a fairly static chord sequence starting with the tonic. So there you go. Down, 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 diggity down. Start with the tonic chord for a minimum of 2 bars. Section 2. The second section, a bridge, should be a single 4-bar horizontal melody, i.e. no more than 3-note range, so keep it really tight. Chord should not start on the tonic and change every bar. There you go. Section 3, 8-bar section, the chorus should be a wide melody that has a minimum of 5-note interval within the structure. I'd say at least 5 notes, maybe 6, 7, full octave, or even a 9th. The starting chord should either be on the tonic or the subdominant, 1st or 4th chord. The final note of the melody should not be the tonic. The song's title should be used in this section. Make sure you use your song's title. Possibly suggest get a really fantastic title before you start composing the song, and then you know what you're aiming towards. Starting one beat before the first bar, at least one part of the melody should span a minimum of 5 notes. Just said that. There you go, look at the shape of that. You either go up or you go down, and you go back to where you started from, then you go up. The final note should not be on the tonic. The lyrics should be about doing one's best, overcoming adversity, etc., etc. So there you go, Understanding Great Songs. Please, please me, John Lennon saves the Beatles. If you like what I'm doing, give us a like down below. If you really like what I'm doing, buy us a coffee. If you don't like what I'm doing, don't buy us a coffee. Look after yourselves. Until next time, goodbye.